Hi, this is Allison Pryor, and I am here today to help you get started with acrylic painting. And today I'm going to give you tips on what to buy and what you need to get started with acrylic painting. I'm going to give you the types of brushes to buy and the brand names. And let's get started now. So for the first thing you will need when you go out shopping, you're brand new, you just started painting. Now maybe you're not brand new, maybe you're still just, dabbling, or you're probably at it for the last 6 months to a year and you're not really sure what to buy. You're buying all kinds of brushes and all kinds of stuff, but you're not sure what you're buying so I'm going to try to help you out with this podcast today. I'm going to try to help you as best I can. So what you need to buy is something to paint on. Now, when you go to buy, just go to any store. You can buy these things at Walmart's, dollar stores, Amazon, Michael's, any place that sells art supplies. You can buy a canvas. And a canvas you can buy is on a board, or it's a stretch canvas. You can see it's wrapped around some wood. And these are really nice. They're not that expensive. But you can get them for like anywhere from $2 to $3. It depends on the size you buy. So I like the size 11 by 14 because you can put lots of detail. 8.5 by 11 is also nice. Not as much detailed, but it's good for a flower or for probably a one subject item. If you're trying to put in buildings or lots of trees and things, I would go for the 11 by 14. 16 by 20 is even better. Now, if you want to go bigger than that, you're going to, if you're just beginning, I wouldn't go too much bigger than that because you use a lot of paint. You have to have lots of brushes, and you could waste a lot of supplies. Just try. If you're, like I said, if you're doing a commissioned art and you're well experienced, obviously go for the biggest canvas you want because you know how much paint to put on, and you know how much you're going to need. So your surfaces can also be anything that you can paint on. You can paint on glass, you can paint on plates, you can paint on fabric, you can paint on CDs, an old record. You can paint on wood, plastic. Plastic may not be as good, it might wipe off easy. Mailboxes, which would be made of metal, right? And you can paint on cardboard. Now, all these things that I'm mentioning that you can paint on your tabletop, a chair, anything at all. But what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to put on some gesso, some kind of a primer. You can even use a primer that you would use on your house, or some white paint. A couple of coats of primer, and you'll be able to paint because a lot of these woods and cardboards and that absorb paint, so then you'd be using too much paint. Just keep absorbing your paint, and then you wouldn't get a very good painting. But if you put a couple of coats of primer on it, like you would do with your normal walls in your house, then you'll be able to paint on top of it and have no problem. That will then keep your painting from absorbing into the cardboard or whatever else. Also, when you're painting on glass or metal, you need some kind of a primer to keep it on there so it could wash off. So a primer, or you can just put the acrylic paint on glass and plates and things. Don't really need a primer, but you may not be able to wash it, right? So it's just for decoration. But you can experiment and see what happens. I have a mailbox that I painted on as a metal mailbox. I put a primer on it, and then I painted on it with acrylics, and I put it outside, and it's been out there for a couple of years, and it hasn't even faded. See, acrylics dry to a plastic finish, so you don't really need a varnish or anything over to protect it. I only use like a Mod Podge or a gloss varnish so that I can make my painting, because acrylics are like a flat color when they dry, they're not matte, they're just kind of a flat color. So I put a varnish over it or Mod Podge to make it shiny looking, so it looks like an oil painting. It looks really nice. It brings out the colors. It's very nice. And then that way you don't need to protect it at all. So that's the surfaces that you are going to use. Anything that you can paint on, anything, okay? Paint on your shoes, your sneakers. So now, and rocks, don't forget rocks. And also, the next thing you're going to need is your brushes. And your brushes come in a couple of different types. They come in bristle brushes. They have a beige color look to them, a cream color. And the handles may be a blue or a red or a green, whatever, but the main bristle, they're really rough textured bristles and are great for pouncing and scrubbing and just punching into your canvas and give you really good textured grass and beautiful clouds, because you can make circles but you have to scrub, you know. And so the bristle, you need bristles, and get 3 different sizes: small, medium, and large. And also it's nice to have, so yeah, so the bristles are flat. You can also get round bristle brushes, also great for making clouds, circular things. Make sure you buy at least 3 of those, small, medium, and large. You can also get fan brushes, bristle fan brushes, small, medium, and large. Okay, great for making clouds and grass, and good, you know, great for texture. These are bristle now, okay? They're hard, rough, beige color bristles. And they can be made of hog hair, I think, and or pure bristle. But no, I think the hog hair might be synthetic. I'll look it up for you. And then we got, so that's bristles, and then you can have liner brushes are not bristle. I haven't seen any, but you get them done. You can't work with them very well. So then you can have your synthetic brushes or nylon brushes. Your synthetic, they're more of a softer, shinier look to them. But here's how you'll know: they're either orange color or they are brown color in their hair, and they have a chiseled edge, just like a blade on the top of them. And that's what you need the synthetic brushes for, so you can make nice straight lines, so you can get underneath a straight horizontal line, and they also can make nice smooth blending when you're putting on your paints. And liner brushes make a really nice line. They are very, very nice brushes, but they won't give you a lot. They're not good for, like, if you want to punch and pounce in that, because you can't get that texture as good with them. But they're great for flowers, for putting on your sky, nice long strokes, blending your colors. So and you get them in different sizes also. So you can get them in fan brushes, liner brushes, flat brushes, and rounds, and get them in 3 different sizes for each brush, and you will be on your way. And you won't have to spend a lot of money. You're only getting 3, okay? And you can buy these even at dollar store, Walmart, anywhere. They don't have to be a particular brand, but I think Dollar and Roundy has some nice brushes. I have an Amazon shop where you can go in and look around my Amazon shop, and because I did all the brands in there, and then you can write down the names of the brands I put in there, and then you can go buy them wherever you want. You can buy them on my Amazon shop if you want. It's my little shop, and I get a small fee. I get about, every month I make about 25 cents to $1. So, I mean, for some reason, that's all I make, and that's fine with me. I'm just happy that I can help you out, so don't worry about that. Maybe someday I'll get rich, who knows. But anyway, so that's your brushes, and you can get some makeup brushes. Go into the makeup department and look at these big, round, fluffy brushes that they're called, for putting on your powder and stuff. And they're beautiful brushes for blending your colors. I have a video. You can go on my YouTube channel, and I have a video on how to use your brushes and what types of brushes. And I compared the bristle brushes to the synthetic brushes, and I showed the makeup brushes also. So I have, just go on my YouTube channel, go YouTube and search Allison Pryor brushes, or comparing brushes or something like that, or email me, AllisonPryor@yahoo.com. And when you email me, you can ask me, what kind of brushes, or where can I find the link to your YouTube video on brushes, or clouds, or landscapes, or whatever you want. I'm there, okay? So, and then when you're finished with your brushes, just wash them. Wash them with soap and water is all I do, and I lay them flat. I lay them flat on a piece of paper towel, you know, and then when they're dry, I'll just stand them up in my container that I use for with my water. It's also nice to have probably some painting knives, you know. It's nice to have different sizes and different types. You know, some people love painting with knives, palette knives, and they like mixing their paints with the palette knives. So you can get a couple of those. You don't need a lot of those just starting out till you get more used to them. Palette knives are nice. There's no special kind. You can buy the plastic ones or the metal ones. I like the metal ones, but they get kind of rusty after a while, so I maybe have to buy something a little more expensive. I don't know, but some are nicer than others. Acrylic is really nice for working with because acrylic paints, they dry fast, which is a good thing and sometimes a bad thing. But acrylic paints, they dry. Their colors go on nice and bright, and then when they dry, they're kind of dull. They go a little darker. That's a couple of things that, you know, working with acrylics do. But I love them because I can always brighten them up with, like I said, my Mod Podge or a varnish and brighten up the colors after it's all dry. And I'll just put on a clear coat of a glass, you know, a glass medium, and that will brighten them right up. Or you can add a glass. Well, I'm going to talk about mediums in a minute. And so you can get the really good paints are Liquid X or Dollar and Rowney. Or there's some Bob Ross paint. No, Bob Ross has oils. So like I said, it's in my shop. And Liquid X. These are the ones that I use, and I'm not having any problems with them. I love them all. There's Winsor & Newton. Winsor & Newton are pretty good, but I'm not fussy about the tubes. Maybe you can get them in some other type. Maybe you can get them in a bottle. I never really looked. So anyway, acrylic paints, you can get them in tubes, you can get them in bottles, you can get them, I like the ones that Liquid X has in the big tubes, and they come out easy, and they last a long time, they don't dry up or anything. I like those. They're basic. But you can get student grade, and you can get professional grades. You see them on Amazon or in my shop. So acrylic paints, best colors for you to get. You might say, well, what colors do professional artists use? They use ultramarine blue. They use other blues like phthalo blue. They use sap green. Okay. They use burnt umber, burnt sienna, raw sienna. We also yellows. You can get lemon yellow. Yellow ochre. These are popular names, okay? These are most